What will be starting in this lecture is concept of leverage. Please concentrate. Leverage is risk. We have learned this word n numbers of times. Levered company, unlevered company. Levered is a risky company. So leverage is risk. So what we are going to learn in this chapter is measurement of leverage. That is measurement of risk. We will be doing it by three category. TOL, degree of operating leverage. This will be increasing. This is measuring your operating risk. DFL, degree of financial leverage. And combine of this both. So this will measure only financial leverage. And understand, in subject of finance, you should be actually learning only financial leverage. But the thing is, for just conceptual clarity, they are also teaching you how to measure operating leverage. Otherwise, as a financial manager, I am concerned more with this. So in all the chapters, we have learned this: financial leverage, financial risk. There will be another combination of this two leverage, will be nothing but DCL, which is degree of combined leverage. All right, concentrate. Let us start with DOL, degree of operating leverage. As I have told you, the operating leverage is measurement of risk. Let me give you example of tuition classes, the business which I run. I am having two scenarios. I need to hire a faculty. In this case also I will be hiring a faculty. On this side, I am planning that I will be hiring fixed salary faculty. That is, I will pay him 1 lakh rupees per month. And he will be teaching GST and costing at my classes. Another faculty, or same faculty, let me take same faculty, or I will be hiring a same faculty at variable rate of rupees 5,000 per student per subject. My class's name is, say, Lakshya. Anyone from student can tell me which is more risky. You don't need to give me advice that which side I need to go. I'm just asking you which is more risky for me and why. If you can answer. Drashti?
View of variable rate is more risky.
For Lakshya.
Yes.
Can you explain me why? I'm not saying whether it is correct or not correct, but just the thought behind this answer.
I don't have clear idea, but confused.
All right. Any student who can voluntarily give answer? Which is more risky?
Sir, fix.
Can you explain, Kishan, why?
Because if there is only two students, yet you have to pay 1 lakh.
All right. And 1 lakh for the subject. And if it is variable rate,
Then only 10,000.
then I will be paying only 10,000. Try to concentrate. If I am having say 1,000 students, I agree to your decision that you should go for fix. But right now I am not talking about the decision, nor even I have told the number of students. I am just asking you which is more risky. So whenever you want to think risk, you will have to think if there are only 5 students, if there are only 2 students, as Kishan told. If there are 2 students, here you pay 1 lakh, here you pay 10,000. If due to Corona there is no batch, here you will have to pay 1 lakh, you have committed it. Here you will be paying 0 rupees because there are no students. Even if faculty is hired and he is coming to the office, what is his rate? 5,000 per student. Now there is no student, so he will be automatically getting 0 rupees. So if someone asks me which is more risky, believe me, this is more risky and this is a correct answer. Fixed is always more risky. So increase in fixed cost will increase the risk. See, in this era, suppose if all my costs were variable, whenever there is hike in Corona cases, I'll stop my classes. Why? My expenditure then will become 0. But if all costs are fixed, even if the classes is closed, even if the batch is cancelled, I'll have to pay that fixed cost. So higher the fixed cost, higher is the risk. Higher the fixed cost, higher is the risk. So let me have an operating statement which gives you profit, starting with sales. Minus variable cost is termed as contribution. You will be learning more in detail about this contribution, but it is not termed as profit or earnings. Why it is not termed as profit? Because yet something is to be deducted is fixed cost. If you deduct a fixed cost, you get that profit. This fixed cost should be only operating and not financial. You will be getting answer of what we have learned in previous chapters, which is EBI. So sales minus variable cost is contribution, minus fixed cost is EBIT. What do you do from EBIT? From EBIT you deduct interest. And this will become your, of course, then you deduct taxation, then you deduct preference dividend, and this all are deducted, and ultimately what you get is EPS, or earnings available to equity shareholders divided by number of shares, you get EPS. But let me end this over here. Not even this, because I am learning something regarding only operating leverage. Consider, there are 2 companies. X Limited is having a sales of 5 lakhs. Y Limited is also having sales of 5 lakhs. Variable cost of X Limited is 2,50,000. Contribution is 2,50,000. Fixed cost is 50,000. So EBIT is 2 lakhs. Similarly, Y Limited variable cost is 2 lakhs. Let me take 1,50,000. Contribution hence will be 3,50,000. And fixed cost is 1,50,000. So even EBIT is 2 lakhs. See, here, like in capital structure, you don't need to every time take same figures. But let me explain you DOL. First, I am just writing formula. How to find out degree of operating leverage is, degree of operating leverage is contribution divided by EBIT. Contribution divided by EBIT. I am finding out of X Limited. What is contribution? 2,50,000 divided by 2 lakhs. This is for X Limited. 2,50,000 divided by 2 lakhs will be 1.25. This is DOL of X Limited is 1.25. What is DOL of Y Limited? DOL of Y Limited is 3,50,000 divided by 2 lakhs by using same formula, contribution divided by EBIT, which will be 3.5 divided by 2. That is 1.75. Now, it is 1.7 times what? Nothing. Are you getting it? It is unit free measurement. Degree of operating leverage is unit free measurement. So, or you can term it as times. This is nothing but measurement of degree of operating leverage. Which is having higher DOL? Y Limited. Believe me, Y Limited is having higher risk because its fixed cost is higher as compared to X Limited. Relatively, sales being same, please concentrate. Y Limited is variable cost lower, fixed cost higher. X Limited is variable cost higher, fixed cost lower. This is practice of X Limited, this is practice of Y Limited. Whose practice is riskier is Y Limited. Sir, return, we are not talking about return right now. Whenever you are ready to take higher risk, your expected return will always be higher. That is not a question. Right now our question is which is more risky. Can you correlate it with this? Higher the fixed cost, higher is the risk. Here higher the fixed cost, and believe me, this is measurement of fixed cost. There is nothing in formula like fixed cost, but ultimately what it measures is fixed cost. Let me explain you how. Suppose say Alpha Limited is having contribution of 3 lakhs, fixed cost 0. This is also 3 lakhs. EBIT. What will be degree of operating leverage 1? Degree of operating leverage 1 basically means there is no risk. See the fixed cost. Nothing. Alright. So practically this is nothing but concept of operating leverage. 1 is equal to no risk. That means its fixed cost is 0. Can you relate it with this? If DOL is equal to 1, your fixed cost will be 0. Ultimately, degree of operating leverage is measurement of operating risk. And ultimately, it is measuring fixed cost. Alright. Let me take two companies 2 years simultaneously. Sorry, one company 2 years simultaneously. X Limited, year 1, year 2. Sales is 10 lakhs, year 2 is 12 lakhs. Minus variable cost is 40% of sales. I hope you all understand variable costs are directly related to unit manufactured and sold. So if you are selling more units, your variable cost will be higher. If you are selling less unit, your variable cost will be lower, and it will be directly proportional to sales. So here it will be 4 lakhs, Here it will be 4 lakh. This is 6 lakhs. This is a 7 lakh 20,000. This will be this will be contribution minus fixed cost. Now as it is the same company, fixed cost remains same, which is 2 lakhs rupees. This is 4 lakhs. This will be 5 lakh. We are obviously in year 1. And I want to find out degree of operating leverage of year 1. What is degree of operating leverage of year 1 is 6 lakh divided by 4 lakh. Contribution divided by EBIT. All of you understand? Let me write it down and have some space. Degree of operating leverage of year 1 will be is equal to 6 lakh divided by 4 lakh. Which is 1.1. Try to concentrate. I have explained you degree of operating leverage as measurement of risk. Let me explain you now this 1.5. What does this 1.5 means? This 1.5 means if contribution increases one time, EBIT will increase 1.5 times. And what is 1.5? That is nothing but leverage or degree of operating leverage. Or try to concentrate. If contribution increases 10%, then EBIT will increase 10%? No. It will be 10% into 1.5. Why into 1.5? Because there is a leverage, there is a risk proportion. So it will increase by 15%. Let me prove it. Contribution has increased by how much percentage? Contribution has increased by how much percentage? It is 20%. How to find it? What is the difference in contribution is 1,20,000 divided by base, that is 6 lakhs multiplied by 100. This is increase in how much percentage increase in there in contribution. And if you will find out answer, this answer is nothing but 20%. So contribution has increased by 20%, yes. So your EBIT should increase by 20%, no. Then your EBIT will increase by 20% multiplied by this 1.5, that is 30%. Let me try out this. 4 lakh 20%, sorry, 4 lakh 30% is 1,20,000. 4 lakh plus 1,20,000 is equal to 5,20,000. So EBIT has increased by how much percentage? 30%. If your contribution increases one time, your EBIT will increase 1.5 times. This is the meaning of degree of operating leverage. if your EBIT increases by 10%, if your contribution increases by 10%, your EBIT will increase by 15%. This is meaning of DOL 1.5. So the question here arises, sir, then why it is measurement of risk? This is good. Your contribution is increasing by 20%, but your EBIT is increasing by 30%. Can anyone have an idea why then it is measurement of risk? If it means this, why it is measurement of risk? We have done this while doing beta. I hope you understand. DOL 2 of X Limited and DOL of Y Limited is set 10. Which is more risky? This is more risky. But here I am explaining you everything about benefit. Then why DOLY is more risky? Because if the contribution increases by 10%, your EBIT will increase by 100% if DOL is 10. It is good. Then why it is more risky? Any student?
Sir,
Yes?
if variable cost is decreased by 10%, then EBIT also decreased by 100%.
If contribution, exactly. If contribution decreases by 10% and if your degree of operating leverage is 10, your EBIT will decrease by 100%, and decrease by 100% means it will become 0. If here your contribution is decreasing by 10%, then your EBIT will decrease by 20%. Are you getting it? And whenever we are measuring risk, and believe me, leverage is used only to measure risk and never to measure return. But this is an understanding part which as a student you need to understand. So this is nothing but why it is termed as risk. You need to see downside. If DOL is 50, if contribution will decrease by 2%, your EBIT will become 0. That is EBIT decreased by 100%. So let me write down once again what we have already written on this page. Concentrate. What is increase in contribution? 20%. What is increase in EBIT? We know it should be 30%. Because DOL is 1.5. By this two figure also you can find out the degree of operating leverage. How? Concentrate. Degree of operating leverage is equal to percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in contribution. What is percentage change in EBIT? 30%. Percentage change in contribution 20%. Answer will be 1.5, which is same as this that we have found out. Are you getting it? Here we are going to second formula of degree of operating leverage, which is change in EBIT divided by change in contribution. And it should be percentage change. This triangle is changing. Percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in contribution. So it is interesting. Why? If you see first formula, degree of operating leverage is contribution divided by EBIT. Contribution was in numerator, EBIT was in denominator. If you see second formula, EBIT is in numerator and contribution is in your denominator, but still both of the method will give you absolutely same answer. Now, concentrate one more thing. So let me rub this. What is increase in contribution in our case? Increase in contribution is 20% from 6 lakhs. It is becoming 7,20,000. It is 20%. What is increase in sales? I am finding it out. Let me not make a judgment, but let me find it out. What is increase? 2 lakhs. 2 lakh on 10 lakh is 20%. So sales is also increasing by 20%. And believe me, percentage change in contribution is always equal to percentage change in sales. Again, any student, can anyone give me answer why? Why percentage change in contribution and percentage change in sales will be same? I am not saying contribution is equal to sales, but percentage change will remain same. Anyone? Alright, I'll help you out. Because variable cost is directly proportional. Variable cost is directly proportional to sales. And what is contribution? Sales minus variable cost. So what will happen? I'll tell you. If sales increases, variable cost will increase, contribution will increase, but percentage will remain same. Because variable cost also has increased by equal proportion. If sales has increased by 20%, believe me, this is 20%. Even if you will see, the variable cost will increase by 20%. So if variable cost also increases by 20%, then contribution will increase only by 20%. Contribution will not increase more, because along with sales, even contribution is increasing and even variable cost is increasing. See, if it was remaining same, the percentage are not same. Are you getting it? So whenever there is a variable cost which is related to this base number, variable cost will increase or decrease as per sales increasing or decreasing, and so percentage change in contribution will be equal to percentage change in sales. So hence third formula. Degree of operating leverage is equal to percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in sales. Why? Percentage change in contribution is equal to percentage change in sales. I need not calculate it because percentage change in sales is 20% and percentage change in EBIT is 30%. So this will again remain 1 point. By these three formulas, you can understand the degree of operating leverage. Once again, if DOL is 1, that means there is no risk. That also means there is no fixed cost. This we have already learned. And we have even learned the concept why it is termed as risk, and every time we have proved it that this is how the risk will be measured. Degree of operating leverage. Let me go to degree of financial leverage. So now in degree of operating leverage, some student may say, sir, these two are same formulas. If you understand this, agreed. You may summarize it as 2 formulas or you may summarize it as 3 formulas. We are going to next one, that is DFL, degree of financial leverage. We are now starting again with the sales. Minus variable cost will be is equal to contribution. Minus fixed cost will be is equal to minus interest will be nothing but, which is a financial fixed cost. Is interest. So degree of financial leverage will measure interest. Let me take an example and prove that first, financial fixed cost is interest, yes or no? Yes. Because irrespective of your sales, say I have taken a loan for my office, which are my classes. In Corona times, the classes are closed. Will I have to pay my interest? The answer is yes. So financial fixed cost is interest. So measurement of financial fixed cost is degree of financial leverage. So let me take two example. 2 lakh. Your interest is 50,000. Another example of Y Limited, which is 3 lakhs. Sorry, I'll have to take 2 lakhs to compare this to company. This is X, this is Y. This is 1 lakh. This will be 1 lakh. This will be 1 lakh. In which company interest is higher? Y Limited. So Y Limited should be having more degree of financial leverage, and concentrate how degree of financial leverage is found out. Degree of financial leverage is equal to EBIT upon EBT. What is EBIT in X Limited? 2 lakhs. Let me find out over here. 2 lakhs divided by 1 lakh 50,000. So it is 1.33. And this will be 2 lakh divided by 1 lakh, which is nothing but C. We were knowing Y is more risky, and so the risk degree of financial leverage is coming more in Y. If degree of financial leverage is 1, same in degree of operating leverage, it is same concept. Degree of financial leverage is 1. That means there is no financial risk, and that also means the interest is 0. You can find out if DFL comes 1, interest will always be 0. This is nothing but degree of financial leverage. If for some company DFL is say 3, let me explain you what does it means. It means if EBIT increases by 10%, then EBT will increase by 10%. No, 10% into 3, that is, there will be 30% increase. Again, why it is measurement of risk? Because you need to see on lower side. If there is decrease in EBIT by 10%, operating profit has decreased by 10%, then your earning before tax will decrease by 30%. If EBIT is increasing by 10%, your EBT will increase by 30%. This is what DFL of 3 means. Let me again take example of one company, Y Limited, for 2 years. Year 1 and year 2. And I will be writing a full-fledged statement. In year 1, EBIT is in year 1, sales is 50 lakhs. Here it is 55 lakhs. Variable costs are very low in this type of business. 5 lakhs. And this is 5,50,000 because it is 10%. It should remain same. This will be 45 lakhs. In year 2, it is 49 lakh. This is contribution minus fixed cost 5 lakhs, and here also it will be 5 lakhs. This will be 40 lakhs rupees, which is nothing but EBIT, and this will be 44. See what, let me do this to explain. Degree of combined leverage will be taking all the figures. For explaining degree of financial leverage, we'll be taking this again. But for explaining degree of financial leverage, let me start with EBIT, so that the numbers are rounded off. EBIT was 1 lakh. It became 1 lakh. Interest was 20,000 in year 1 also, and 20,000 in year 2 also. So EBT is 80,000. This will be 90,000. I'm also deducting tax. Tax rate is 40%. So this is 32,000. This is 36,000. This will be 48,000. This will be 54,000. This is earning after tax. There are no preference dividend. Number of shares are 10,000. So EPS will be 4.8 and 5. Alright. Let me find out degree of degree of financial leverage from this. DFL for 1 year, year 1. What is the simplest formula is EBIT upon EBT? What is EBIT? 1 lakh divided by EBT will be 80,000. EBIT divided by EBT. So 1 lakh divided by 80,000 is 1.25. What does degree of financial leverage 1.25 means is this? If EBIT has increased by 10%, then EBT will increase by 10 into 1.25 because your degree of financial leverage is 1.25. Let me prove it whether my understanding is correct or not. What does it say? How much EBIT has first increased? Let me change the color. What is increase in EBIT? 10,000. 10,000 on 1 lakh is 10% increase. Right? So, if EBIT increases by 10%, if EBIT has increased by 10% and degree of financial leverage is 1.25, what does it mean? Your EBT should increase by 10% into 1.25, that is will be 11.25. No, will be 12.5. Sorry, it will be 12.5. You don't need calculator for it. But this is 12.25. Let me prove it. How much EBT has increased? 10,000? This is EBT increase. On which base? 80,000 multiplied by 100. So 10,000 divided by 80,000 multiplied by 100 is 12.5%. This will be multiplied by 100 to find it out in percentage. Is my answer correct? Yes. So my understanding is correct? Yes. If EBIT increases by 10%, my EBT should increase by 12.5%. But if my EBIT decreases by 10%, then EBT should decrease by 12.5% and not 12%. And so it is measurement of risk. So with the same color, can I write down that EBT is increasing by how much percentage? 12.5%. Alright? Please concentrate. So second formula. Percentage change in EBT divided by percentage change in EBIT. What is percentage change in EBT? 12.5%. What is percentage change in EBIT? 10%. Percentage will get cancelled. This answer will be 1.25. By this formula also, sometimes only if this formula is available, by this formula also you can find out answer of degree of financial leverage. Percentage change in EBT divided by percentage change in EBIT. Now please understand, if you are knowing this, I'll help you to convert into this formula. Denominator will become numerator. Numerator will become denominator. You just need to add percentage change. A good way of remembering the formula. See, if in simple formula without percentage change, EBIT is numerator. In this percentage change formula, EBIT will be in denominator. Alright. Please concentrate. I am finding out percentage change in EAT. Percentage change in EAT. How much EAT has changed? 48,000 to 54,000 is 6,000. What was the base? 48,000 multiplied by 100. It is 6,000 divided by 48,000 multiplied by 100. It is how much? 12.5%. This change is also 12.5%. What was percentage change in EBT? 12.5%. What is percentage change in EBIT? 12.5%. Percentage change in EBT will always be equal to percentage change in. Why? Because again taxation is a variable cost. Find out percentage change in taxation, that will be also 12.5%. The tax would also have increased, EBT has also increased, so EAT will also increase, but in say everything will happen in same proportion. If EAT is increasing by, EBT is increasing by 12.5%, tax is also increasing by 12.5%, then EAT will also increase by 12.5%. So percentage change in EBT is equal to percentage change in EAT. Can anyone draft a third formula for me? Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Percentage change of EAT upon
Yes.
percentage change in EBIT.
Exactly. This is nothing but degree of financial leverage again. This was also degree of financial leverage. Alright. Surprisingly, and this you need to research on your own why it is coming, see. Surprisingly, this will be also 12.5%. Let me first verify. 5.4 minus 4.8 divided by 4.8 multiplied by 100 is 12.5%. So, percentage change in EBT is equal to percentage change in EAT is equal to percentage change in EPS. Will be equal to percentage change in EPS. This is nothing but, please concentrate, now you can find out n numbers of formulas. That is total 4 formulas. In numerator, instead of percentage change in EBT, you can write down percentage change in EAT, or you can even write down percentage change in EPS. All of you are getting it. So this is nothing but degree of financial leverage, which measures the financial risk, which is leverage. Higher the interest, higher is the leverage. We have understood. Levered company, it is having that proportion more, means it is having interest proportion more. Higher the interest, higher is the risk, and this is measurement of degree of financial leverage. If you learn advanced courses in finance, what you'll be learning is only financial leverage. This is degree of financial leverage. Concentrate. We are going to third point, which is degree of combined leverage. What is degree of combined leverage? Try to concentrate. It is combination of degree of operating leverage and degree of financial leverage. Sales minus variable cost is contribution, minus fixed cost except interest is EBIT, minus interest is equal to EBT. What is degree of operating leverage? Contribution divided by EBIT is DOL. What is DFL? It is EBIT upon EBT, which is nothing but degree of financial leverage. What is degree of combined leverage? Try to concentrate. Formula wise, it is contribution. How will I take contribution? Contribution divided by EBT. Contribution divided by EBT will be nothing but it is degree of combined leverage. See how this formula is derived, I'll tell you. Degree of combined leverage is multiplication of degree of operating leverage and degree of financial leverage. What is degree of operating leverage? Contribution upon EBIT. What is degree of financial leverage? Is EBIT upon. The answer is contribution upon. Two formulas. Degree of combined leverage is equal to degree of operating leverage multiplied by degree of financial leverage. Also, it is contribution divided by EBT. Numerator of operating and denominator of financial will be nothing but degree of combined leverage. This is degree of combined leverage. Let me explain you what does degree of combined leverage 4 means. See, now you should be comfortable in understanding also this. If contribution increases one time, your EBIT will increase. No, then you are talking only about operating. Your EBT will increase 4 times. That is, if contribution increases one time, 10%, your EBT, not EBIT, will increase 40%. Also, what is measurement of risk? If contribution decreases, say 20%. Let me take 25%. If contribution decreases 25%, your EBT will decrease by 100%. 25 into 400%. And see the risk. Just by decreasing contribution of 25%, your EBTS becomes 0. So this is nothing but degree of combined leverage. Also, let me take one small example starting from contribution and explain you what is degree of combined leverage. It merges fixed cost as well as interest, which both are the factors of risk. Contribution is 1 lakh, fixed cost is 20,000, EBIT is 80,000, interest is 40,000, so EBT is 40,000. Degree of combined leverage will be contribution upon EBT. What is contribution? 1 lakh. EBT is 40,000. This will be 2.5. Degree of combined leverage is 2.5. Say this was year 1. Let me go to year 2. See my understanding. If contribution increases 10%, what is the 10% increase? 1,10,000. Then my EBT will increase 10 into 2.5, that is 25%. What is 25% of 40,000 is 10,000. So it will increase by 10,000 rupees and it will become 50,000. See, without writing any other figures, I know this. Because I know the concept of degree of combined leverage. What is percentage change in contribution is 10%. So percentage change in EBT will be 25% because degree of combined leverage is 25. Let me prove it. Fixed cost will remain 20,000. This will become 90,000. This is fixed cost again, so it will remain 40,000. So the answer will be 50,000. See, my answer was absolutely correct. And so let me go to even second formula for a degree of combined leverage. It will be percentage change in EBT. See, whenever there is percentage change, I am putting denominator into numerator and numerator into denominator, divided by percentage change in contribution. Let me first decide whether my answer is correct or not. Percentage change in EBT is 25%. Percentage change in contribution is 10%. So answer is 2. Sorry, not percentage. Percentage will get cancelled. It will be times. So by second formula also you are getting 2.5. So our formula is correct. Now we already know two things. Percentage change in EBT is equal to percentage. Let me draw it with other color. What we know? Percentage change in EBT is equal to percentage change in EAT is equal to percentage change in EPS. This we have already learned. So instead of percentage change in EBT, you can use percentage change in EAT, you can use percentage change in EPS. So in numerator, you may use either of this. In denominator, percentage change in contribution is equal to percentage change in variable cost, or let me write down first sales. Percentage change in sales and is also equal to percentage change in variable cost. Normally this is not written in formula, but in denominator you may write down anything. Percentage change in contribution or percentage change in sales or percentage change in variable cost. Please concentrate. Last time explaining you degree of combined leverage of say 3. And how it is used and when it is used. See, people who are analyzing the company are not much interested in contribution and EBT. They know only two things, or they are concentrating only in two things, which is sales and EPS. And if you are knowing degree of combined leverage is 3, please understand what does this mean. If in next year the sales increases by 10%, then EPS will increase by 10 into 3, which is 30%. Are you getting it? So you can directly have a relationship between sales and EPS. It is 3. All right. Say sales has decreased by 40%. Your EPS will become negative, because EPS will decrease by 120%. So decreasing more than 100% is negative. So your EPS will go negative. So you can decide that your company is risky by this. If sales increases 1 time, your EPS is increasing 1 time. And if your EPS is increasing 3 times. And if your sales is decreasing 1 time, your EPS is decreasing 3 times. That is nothing but degree of combined leverage of 3. So now you understand how degree of combined leverage is understood is by this 2. All right. So, and these 2 are very relevant. All right. Say you are a risky company. In your company, there is a growth of say your degree of say let me take your limited. Your degree of combined leverage is 2. Your sales has increased by 50%. See, you are having direct answer that your EPS will be doubled. Your EPS will be increasing by 100%. And this you are knowing from the start of the year, because you are finding out always of year 1. So you can always make a forecast of year 2. But yes, please understand, if you are a risky company, say your degree of combined leverage is 10. If your sales will increase, it will be benefited like anything. But if your sales will decrease, you will be having even loss like anything. Degree of combined leverage 10 means even if your sales decrease by 10%, your EPS will become 0. This is nothing but concept of degree of combined leverage. Sir, how many formulas? Normally what I do, I write down only this formula and I write down along with this all these things. So what can be written in place of percentage change in contribution is percentage change in variable cost and percentage change in sales. What can be written in the place of percentage change in EBT is percentage change in EPS or percentage change in EAT, and you can drop the formula as required. Let's summarize all 3. Only formulas, no understanding. Leverage is a DOL. DOL is contribution upon EBIT. DOL can also be found out by percentage change in EBIT divided by percentage change in. Then we went to DFL. DFL is EBIT upon EBT, or you can even write down DFL, percentage change in, denominator will become numerator, EBT divided by percentage change in. So instead of percentage change in EBT can be written percentage change in EAT, yes. Next is degree of combined leverage. Degree of combined leverage will be is equal to contribution, that is numerator of DOL, denominator of DFL, that is EBT. Or degree of combined leverage is percentage change in EBT divided by percentage change in contribution. Last point, percentage change in sales will be is equal to percentage change in variable cost will be is equal to percentage change in contribution. So wherever there is percentage change in contribution, you can use percentage change in sales and percentage change in variable cost. Also, percentage change in EBT will be is equal to percentage change in EAT will be is equal to percentage change in EPS. So wherever percentage change, you cannot use instead of EBT, you cannot use EAT. Yeah? Instead of percentage change in EBT, you can use percentage change in EAT. This is a summary of all the formulas that we have done up till now. Conceptually also it should be absolutely clear, and formula wise also it should be absolutely clear. When we start next lecture, what we will be doing is we will be having a quick revision of leverage formula portion as well as understanding.